Alright everybody, hello, and welcome back to another stream. Today we're going to be working on some interior stuff for the Vindication light battleship. Haven't touched on this stuff in a while, been busy working on a few other things, the CSO, some other ships, trying to figure out how to rework some of my interior work on this so that it works better. Take a shot every time I say the word work. Insert, who made that song? Rihanna? Insert Rihanna clip here. Anywho, let me get this over here. Okay. We'll turn this on since we're not doing anything else with sound, just so that this is nice and crisp. Hopefully my mic sounds fine. Alrighty, so yeah, we're working on this thing today. If those of you who have seen the official Vindication light battleship before, or have seen any of the stuff that I've worked on before, you'll know that this is not the official canon version, at least not yet. We'll see how that goes. This is in fact a model based on the Sins of the Prophets redesign of the Vindication light battleship, which makes it look oh so nice in my opinion. It looks super shiny right here, but that's because of the creation kit. Creation kit makes everything look super shiny. You can see here the glow effect on the Infinity looks insane, but it's not really that bad. This is the test cell, the UNSC fleet showcase. For those of you who haven't seen any of that stuff before, you know, we got the Halcyon Flight 1 here, the Artemis battle cruiser. You'll see a lot of stuff from Sins of the Prophets, as I'm a big fan of their stuff, and have included a lot of their ships in this project. So Thanatos right here, you know, the let's see, what else is their model? I think those are the only ships that I have in there right now. A lot of these, like this one right here, all these frigates, the Marathon, and the, if I can find one, let's see, the Halberd and the, here we go, the Gladius Heavy Corvette. Let me slow down that movement speed. There we go. Gladius Heavy Corvette are all designed, or not designed rather, necessarily, but put together by KRP 1138, who does some absolutely fantastic ship work. If any of you were in the Halo Discord, the Halo Archive Discord, then you'll recognize some of his stuff, and you can find it there, where he makes a lot of this stuff by hand. The ships, the base models, I think he gets from like 3D printable stuff, and then he just goes insane. Like, he adds all these greebling details and all that stuff. But the texturing and the material creation and all that stuff is all my work. All the UNSC ships use a custom texture that's really just a vanilla Starfield texture that I've heavily modified. And still looks pretty good. There's a couple spots on some of these ships where it looks a little scuff. I want to go back in and touch them up after I get all this main work on them done. They'll look a lot nicer. I actually have small segue. I actually have the other version of the Halcyon light cruiser, the Pillar of Autumn or the refit version. Let me go over here to my. You won't be able to see it, but I have my object window and my cell view over here on another monitor, which I cannot capture. I don't think there might be a way to. I'll have to figure that out. If I can capture two monitors on OBS, I'm sure I can actually, but I have no idea how to set that up. Actually, I probably do, but we're gonna focus mainly just on this cell view right now. Let me pull up the. I know I have the. What's its for it? Okay, so I don't have it in the creation kit yet, but I have the NIF created for it. I still need to get that in game, so you'll see it's the flight one, and then the refit right here. Yeah, there you go. I'd have to see how this the blacker, like darker material texture looks in game. I may end up changing that to like the more like gray, that lighter gray texture, but yeah, this is the, again, this ship, the base model is like a 3D printable, I think, or maybe uses the base of the Pillar of Autumn from the game, I'm not too sure. But then all the extra greebling and all that, like a lot of these extra details and some of the shape work and all that, that's all done by KRP, and then I'll make some edits to them to get them in game and all that, so like how they're all separated and some things are different, but I'll have these in soon enough as well. Anyway, small detour. So let's go ahead and real quick I'll show you the hangar that I'm working on. I accidentally lost the version of the hangar that I had, because I tried to make it a pack-in and it looked like it was gonna work, and then the CK just kinda absolutely lost its shit. Anywho, oop, there we go. Yeah, so let me get rid of all the markers. Yeah, there we go. I need to place some more lighting in here, make it nice and bright. I haven't edited this terribly too much. I had this edited a whole lot more. Like I'd turn this whole thing into a big ass door here for like a main hangar exit. Moved this thing over here. And then I had a whole lot more long swords and pelicans all up in here. But that'll give you a good scale as to how big this hangar is going to be. And I probably might make it a little bit bigger than this. But honestly, this is already pretty huge. Like I can fit several of these long swords in here. And like all these stairs and all that. Like this stuff might not look super huge, but like, let's see, oh, all these came back in here too. See, I deleted all this stuff. I did all this work, it was looking so good. And then my game just said, hey, Nope. Let's see here. Nope, don't want to select that. Want to select those. These. What the hell? That was weird. They look like cigarettes almost. It's kind of funny. This right here. And these right here. And then all this crap right here in the middle section. So, unfortunately these have to be selected singularly. Ah, damn it. No. Did it deselect anything? No, okay. I'd already deleted it, thank God. Okie dokie. I feel like I should move these to somewhere else because what right here is dangerous. Maybe this over here? I don't know. I never really stopped to look at most of these things. Eventually I'll get some other vehicles in here besides the longsword and the pelican, maybe like some tanks or something. I don't know. So let's see, this was, let's try 90, okay. And then I'll move you back there. Yeah, I think that's fine. Did I get it to work? I haven't tested it yet. Owl, hey, how's it going? You're gonna laugh at this. You might not have heard, because you might not have been here for this. I tried to turn this whole thing into a pack-in, and it took a really long time, and it was frozen, and then it like the menu popped up to do the the instanced static enable and all that stuff, and then as soon as I clicked the create button, it crashed, and I didn't save, which was a lesson for me. I'd done like all this work. I'd moved all these vehicles around and deleted a lot of extra other stuff besides this. I had like a lot of pelicans and some longswords in here. And then I just didn't save, and then I tried to create the pack-in, and the game told me to just die. So that was fun. Oh, that's like right up on it too. Let's move that out a little bit. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Where the fuck is my mouse? There we go. Oh, it's like right up on it. Yeah, that's better. God. Sorry, I'm constantly having to clean cat hair off of my microphone. Even though my cat gets nowhere near my microphone, it somehow always finds itself covered because it's got that little fuzzy ball thing. Let's try 90. Nope. That's better. Nah, I'll leave that at that rotation. And then I think I took this stuff. Yeah. And then there we go. I need to delete this stuff. And while this will like become the specific, like hanger for the Vindication, I also just want to use this as like a general template for like a medium size hanger. I'm sure that might give you a small heart attack, Owl. I know it'll give Michael a small heart attack if he ever sees this, because the idea of this being a medium size hanger is insane, I know. I still want to try to make it a pack-in, but what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to separate stuff out into different layers, and then... Oh, hey, Robin. Well, no, it's not that. It's that she came out looking like she was half dead. Yes. What time do you actually go to bed? I came in there and it was fucking 1 in the afternoon. I was making music. Good lord. Alright, I don't know what V does, but I just hit V, so that's fun. Yeah, that looks about even. I'd rather just do it like that. How far out did I have these? Oh, not very. Let's pull you back in a little bit. Sort of like it's a brace sort of thing. Like they're working on it maybe. Okay, get rid of these over here. So the idea is to make it look like not just a space that's holding vehicles, but to look like there's some functionality to it, you know, like they're working on stuff, they're making some upgrades or adjustments or, you know, what have you. Like it's an actual, like a hangar you'd see in a sci-fi ship, you know, like it's not just a bunch of ships ready to go, but, you know, like there'll be something over here once I like drop it over there, and you know, something over here, and they're working on stuff. Let's drop this over here. I might once I fix up the Nando, drop in some of those. How's that looking? Yeah, it's looking good. I don't think I can put a longsword in there and have it look as good, and I think I put one like right here. So let's move that over this way. Let's fix that road. No, I think it was 180. If I can type right. Yeah, there we go. And then let's put that. And then I think that'll work out because, like, if the player has a ship right here, we'll do, yeah, which I know isn't gonna work, but because it's already inside of a player ship, so I should probably remove that, honestly. But hey, you know, if we ever figure out how to store smaller player ships inside bigger player ships, you know, or dock them or something like that. So in all honesty, I should probably just get rid of that. I think my thinking was to... Is there anything behind here right now? Oh, okay. I think my thinking was to Get rid of all this shit. I don't know why it's selecting shit up there when I haven't selected anything up there. I promise there's a method to this madness. Oh, cool. And then I just deselected everything. Fantastic. I love also how Control Z doesn't always work right. Like sometimes I'll hit Control Z and it'll like deselect stuff or reselect things, but in like a totally different state or order that it was previously in. Oh, there's just nothing right there. Okay. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's about to disappear anyway. I'm sure I'm missing some things, but for now, I think that was everything. Yeah. And then I think I'll do that. And it's gonna select the ground, even though I didn't select the ground. Okay. This is the inside of a hangar, Michael. And get ready to have a heart attack, as I stated before. If you were here for that. This is a medium hangar. way too big, Michael. That sounds like some undemocratic, heretical insurrectionist talk. That's what that sounds like. Sounds like you're a Covenant sympathizer to me. Alright, did I select all that? Okay, looks like I did. Let's try that and see how that looks. Yeah, I think the hangar door is going to need to be way bigger. Okay. I wish there was a way I could scale it in a specific direction. Maybe there is, but... yeah, I don't really care about it sticking through there too much. I really only care about how it looks right here. I've been watching an old anime again lately, and its main theme song I can English, is stuck in my head. It's a lot of fun. Just wait until you see what I come up with for a large hangar. The ones that fit inside the super carriers and the heavy carriers and all that. Small hangars I probably have some other idea for. I've got another template somewhere that I'll use. So I think that looks fine. How's that? Let me get a view on that. Doors. Yeah. Yeah, that's plenty big. Line those up with right there. Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. Alright, now what did I use for another floor piece? I think I used one of these. Let me do the old didgeridoo there. Move this thing over. Scale this thing up. Perfect. Now, I have no idea I really don't. That this is gonna look correctly when I try to get it in game, but I'm gonna go ahead and save right now so that I don't lose any more progress that I've made. Because that would not be fun. No, it would not. Cody Kerrigan. Any random vehicles in? Are you planning on it? I think you. I don't know. I'm planning on other vehicles. I think I want to put some Nandows, another strike fighter in here. A smaller, like, really fast UNSC craft. Okay, yeah. I wanted to give you the benefit of the doubt there. Like, I can discern a fair amount, but you know, can only go so far. I want to do the lighting in here better. You know, like some of these areas aren't too bad, but like this center area right here, you know, it's obviously too dark. The sides are fine, but when I turn on the markers and all that stuff, I can't tell what lighting is like good and what lighting isn't. Like there's this, I think, which is casting some light there, but I really don't know. It says that's a interior spot SS Green 04. That's what it is. But actually, I think that's just that spot right there. I don't know. It's hard to tell. That one is, yeah, a warm light. If I move that, will that do anything? Oh, so it does. Okay. And then I'm guessing there's like a cool light here somewhere. What is this? That's not it. Let's see the direction of that. It looks like it's coming from... I really can't tell. Like weird underlighting? No. Any of these lights that could be casting that? There's this. Oh yeah, that seems to be it. How far up can I... Okay, so that... Okay. I think I got that figured out. And then let's so if I just copy that over, Oh, I hit the wrong button. I think it's this one I need too for... Like right over here. Yeah, so some Nandows, and then let's see, maybe some other miscellaneous like fighter craft or other support craft or something like that. I mean, it's not like a huge carrier or anything like that. It's just for the Vindication. But since I want to make this a template, I might add some other craft in here too, like a vulture or I don't know, something like that. Let's see. I don't even know what this is. It says it's a cool light. Oh, it's not a very strong one. Ooh. Yeah, that's just extra. I don't really need that. A Pelican gunship? Do you mean like the Condor? I've been thinking about doing like an infinite style Condor or something like from what's from the I think it was in the TV show that actually looked pretty decent. I've seen a lot of really cool concept art and I've been thinking about doing something like that, trying to make like an infinite Condor. I think someone might have already made an infinite Condor, so something like that would be really cool. As for like a Pelican gunship, it would just look like a Pelican, but have like some beefier armament to it, maybe? Or are you talking about like one from Halo Wars, where it's like got the extra missile racks on the top, and like some turret bits and something like that? I don't know. I'd have to take a look at the Pelican gunship. Yeah, Halo Wars 2 has them. Yeah. I'd have to take a look at those and see what does this look like if I move it. That's pretty bright. That's a pretty nice light volume, so let me see if I can get a good look at how they look in Halo Wars 2 and then, you know, go from there. I want the light. There we go. Yeah, that's a lot better already. This middle part I'm not so sure about, but where's the one that I put right up over it? I think it was over here maybe? Yeah, let me try that one. Oh yeah, already that's like way better. I think that's what I need to do to just to fix the lighting in the interior. You'll see what I mean here in a sec. I think that's good for now. Once I get some other like test vehicles in, cause like these don't have any like use or functionality to them. Like they're just set pieces. It's just decoration for the hangars. You know, eventually I'll have working models in here, but right now these are just non-functional, you know, like mannequins essentially, and not even the final versions, because like I really don't like the textures that I have on here. I want to replace that. Same with the longsword. Like I want to get a different texture setup on here, separate some of this geometry out again, so that it's not all just one piece that has all the same material. Get some actual windows on here. You know, make sure this doesn't just look like what it is, which is just a set piece. Maybe open up the bay door in here, especially when I get collision on it later. Yeah, there's lots of Halo Wars vehicles that I can't wait to get in game. I have some models for some of them. Maybe I can get like some, not some Herons, but the Darter or something else in here. You know, as like a supply craft or something right here. I've got some fairly decent models that I can separate out, add some detailing to. Let me show you. Oh, actually, before I risk losing everything, triple check and save. God, that intro is so nice. Checking up some stuff here real quick. Oh, it's Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I think this one's from Halo Wars 2, and then someone else has gone in and touched it up already from the I gotta like. Blender has different movement controls than the CK, so I gotta like remember how to move different things. So what I'm thinking about going in and doing is like this already looks kind of meh, and the textures are doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and I feel like that's not gonna look super good. And if I shade flat, yeah, it just looks like it's terrible. Shading smooth's not too bad. But the problem is that some of this stuff is optimized for Blender pretty well, but not so much for you know, transporting and rendering outside of Blender. So, you know, like one of the things I'd want to do, especially for the darter here, is like make a door, a bay right here, or something out the bottom or something. This is the ship I want to use to replace the default cargo ship at your outposts when I turn those into like a Halo Wars thing. And I might take a break from some of the ship stuff I'm doing here in a little while. And by in a little while, I mean, you know, days, weeks, however long. And mess around with some of that stuff. But I want to like I want to cut this up into separating it into parts to give it an extra depth of detail, and it'll make it easier to texture and all that in the creation kit. Try to give some of this stuff functionality, like the legs and the thrusters maybe. And then replace this with like a orange tinted glass material, and then I'll just have to build out some sort of interior using some sort of vanilla thing. But oh, and I didn't mean to do that. But anyway, yeah, I've got lots of other things I can look at. If I go through here, I don't think it's in there. Yeah, so this is the one that I have right now, which is like the infinite style. I don't know that it's textured or not. I don't think it is, yeah. Yeah, it's just a stretched out pelican essentially right now. Especially with that big bay section. Doesn't look too terrible, but definitely needs some work done. Separated it out decently right now. This wouldn't be too hard to get in, but it needs to be cleaned up and fixed up because I think they use the Condor parts in lieu of some of the Pelican parts. So like this broken piece of metal right there will need to get taken off. This is just how I got the model from whoever uploaded it on the drive, or on the Mastodon APC. I don't know. I have a lot of the Halo Wars stuff. I think I know what you're talking about. I don't know all the vehicles by heart. Another thing I can put in there, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, is let me find it. I don't know where. I feel like it should be right there. I'm blind. Is this right here? Again, you know, this is just the Halo Wars 2 model, so it might work just as, you know, temporary set dressing, just to give you an idea of things. But then, I mean, eventually I'd want to go in and probably either just recreate this from scratch or work off this model base and really clean it up. I think Skaboodly Doodle, which is a person, not random words, is a he's a modder on Halo who used to work at 343. Has like a cleaner, really nice short sword model. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. And if he does, I might see about getting that one and then trying to put it in game. But if not, then I'll just have to, like I said, either work off this base or, you know, because this is kind of not the greatest thing ever. Or just make a brand new one. The Nandao that I have, which also needs a lot of work. I actually think the normals on this version are super messed. Yeah. Yeah, this will take some time to fix up. Not a whole lot, it's small, but this thing goes like Mach 10 or something insane. It's like a really fast strike craft. Not that big. And then of course I can get the saber in there. Some other craft like that. I've got a decent amount. I even have this dumb thing which isn't showing up because it's not a blend file yet, but I have the Basilard, or like this kind of like version of the Basilard, which is another older UNSC strike craft. Let's see. Got the drone. Like the Halo Reach drone, yeah. Which could be fun. Again, no interior. But I'm not too sure about like the textures and all that stuff. That's the problem, is a lot of these textures are really, you know, dated. So they wouldn't look super nice in Starfield, so I would have to separate out the pieces in a fashion where I can texture them specific ways using new materials and textures that I would make, which isn't like the hardest thing ever. And then another one that I'm actually making from scratch, which I might start over now that I've learned a whole lot more Blender stuff, is oh, the image just doesn't exist. That's weird. It's called the Cascara. It's like a variant of the longsword, kinda, but it's got like reverse-facing wings. It's a really cool craft that was designed by GC Art. But Yeah, there's that one. Give me 1 sec here. See if I can't find my Halo Wars stuff. Might be under vehicles, actually. Yeah, I don't think I have the Mastodon. I don't know if that's from Halo Wars 1 or 2. I have to go back through and make sure all my files and everything are in the right place, but we'll have I seen the Longsword C718? Is it that really blocky looking one? Like the really bulky like concept art piece? Because if so, yes, and I do like that actually. Just open your eyes. Yeah, I think I know. Hold on, let me. If I don't have an image of it, I might have it on my Discord. Let me see real quick. We've been streaming for about an hour, but I think I'm gonna go an extra 30 minutes. Give me a sec here. I know it's in my, probably in my Halo concept art page. Yeah, I really, hold on, let me show my server stuff real quick. I really love this concept that Exofuture has made for you know, Far Isle, for the guys over at Choke Point Games who make Sins of the Prophets. This version of a nice, really like angular and sleek broadsword, I think they already have a model for it. I unfortunately do not have access to said models, but I really love this really like sleek, you know, not kind of goofy round vanilla version of the broadsword that we got. I'm not a big fan of the rounded or that kind of stuff on UNSC vessels so much. I like the brutalist, you know, military angular kind of stuff more so. Yeah, it's another exo atmospheric like strike fighter kind of a thing. It's like I think it's supposed to be like the successor to the Nandau kinda. I mean, it's it's a faster strike fighter, whereas the longsword is like a larger, fighter bomber kind of vehicle, and this has a lot more utility. The broadsword does anyway. It's for specialized purposes. Each craft has their own specialization. Really like how that looks, but I think I might have. Here's some more brute ships and some other interesting stuff. Working on this right now. The Craven or the Crate or something like that. I forget what it's called, but this is one of the ones I'm working on right now, based off of a 3D model I got, and I'm touching it up, adding in a lot of these extra details to it. Some other ones. These are the sick banished or brute ships. The Yanmei or drone queen concept that are like yeah, this thing. I think this is what you're talking about. Really love this, and I actually have this. I think I have this model, a model for this that someone made over for Thingiverse. Give me just 1 second. It might not be a blend file. It's probably a... Let's see here, ships. UNSC fighters, longsword. I think it's one of these, probably the Scene GLTF. So GLTF. Go there because it's faster. Ooh. Okay, nope, so not that. That's actually massive. I don't know why this is that big. So it's probably not that one. The next option was a bin, I think. Do I even have an option for a bin? Oh, maybe it's this one. Yeah, it's an STL too, which let me Yep, here you go. Definitely needs to be cleaned up a little bit. I don't think this is gonna fix it. That's not terrible. Yeah. Looks pretty close. There's like, let's see, 3, 4 windows on the side, 3 in the front. 1, 2, 3, 4 windows on the side. Around the front, yeah, that works. These parts right here look like exhaust or intake rather. Same with a lot of this stuff. You know, some guns on there. Yeah. Yeah, so this wouldn't be too terribly hard to pop in there. This back piece I'm not too sure of. Is that supposed to be on there? No, it's some weird angular piece right there. Yeah, a nice nice thick longsword. I think this is supposed to be like a stealth variant, actually. Let's see here. I think that's it right now for... Oh, here's the Cascara, yeah. It's a fuzzy image. I have a cleaner one, but... yeah, you can see here it's got like these twin tails on it that kind of like fold in to make a V shape that's hard to tell. And the reverse angular wings and like the main longsword body. Really sick design by GC right there. Some other ship stuff, some other, you know, UNSC vehicle concepts, you know, Mastiff, you know, artillery vehicle, the Oryx. Looks really cool. Almost looks like the stealth tank, but not quite. I think the stealth tank is like called the Viper or something like that. I don't remember. A different version, a variant of the Grizzly, but I like the double-barreled Grizzly. M80 Scorpion. Saddleback, which is like an up-armored Warthog variant, kinda. And he's recently come out with another one that I like. Let's see here. Yeah, this thing. The Dingo, another up-armored Warthog. This is like his version of the Silverback, which looks really cool, which is just like an up-armored transport hog. So a lot of similarities between this and his earlier concept piece. But yeah, got a lot of stuff here that I'd love to get to at some point. Lots of other you know, human ships, design concepts. Love to take a crack at some of these for more, you know, insurrectionist ships and stuff like that. I already have some of them, but there's those. Let's see here. I could have sworn I had more UNSC vehicle stuff from Halo Wars 2. I'll have to go through and check to see if I don't think it's under any of this stuff. No. No. was it called? The Mastodon. No, okay. No. Nope. No, I don't have those anywhere. I will save this as a blend file though. Let's see, it's the C718 longsword. So far hangar's looking decent. And then I'll probably cut in an access way, you know, up here somewhere. There's like, some of these have doors on them and I gotta find the ones that have doors. I think right here. Yeah, so like right there probably. Or over here. I don't think any of the rest of these have doors on them. There's a couple really good hangar options for stuff to work on as bases. The Star Station concept last stream. I don't know which one you're talking about. I've got a few Star Station concepts. I've got some that I really want to work on. I've got a lot that I really want to work on. Like, I really want to make a tiara because one does not exist. There's like a lot of concept pieces for the tiara, which if you don't know, the tiara is the big like ring space station from Contact Harvest. And obviously there's no model for it because it's a book. The closest thing we have is, I think it's called Gamma Station from Reach, which is a big ring space station, and I do have the one connecting to a big ship. I've got, hold on, it's in my space cell. Let me save again just to be sure. I don't want to lose progress. It's not actually connected to the Vindication, and I've moved around some of the ships to make it more of like a showcasey sort of a thing. No, sorry, I got some Reddit notification that just said animation framework, and I got excited real quick before I realized it was a question and not a statement. So there's the anchor stations, right? There's one right there, another one way up there, and then this one right here that's next to a Vindication, the test Vindication that I have, the UNSC Robin Williams. But this doesn't have any interior or anything like that spaces yet. I want to make some, so like I'll add a docking port here, and then like some internals right there, small internal docking bay, and I've got like an idea of how I'll probably set some of this stuff up, because luckily there is some interior type stuff for these things, because there's a well-known multiplayer map that is also called Anchor 9. The problem is that that multiplayer map doesn't actually fit anywhere particular on this station, but I believe very strongly based on some bits of the exterior of that station and, you know, what we see from it and everything like that. And these doors right here with the little things where they're supposed to grab and dock to exo-atmospheric vehicles and fighters like the Saber, that Anchor 9, the multiplayer map, actually goes in like right here on this little backside of the station, either right there or like down here somewhere. You know, they'd have to replace some of this geometry. I think that's where it makes the most sense. And initially that's what I was going to do, is I was going to put it like right here. I would rework some of this geometry, get rid of some of this stuff. But what I think I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take apart the interior for the Anchor 9 section and use parts of that as a basis for the inside of the actual Anchor 9 station. And then of course there's also versions of these that I'm cutting up and using to make other space stations. A version of this that's going to be like a medical bay station. And yeah, but real quick, because we are nearing the end of the YouTube stream before I move on over to my gaming stream. Let's do the ship cell over here. And the interior. So, this right here, obviously, Vindication Light Battleship, as I've said before, and we were working on the hangar that's going to go right here. So like in this area in front of the ship, pretty much. And all the interior section that I'm about to show you all fits inside this section of the ship so far. Just this bridge section. And it's going to look huge, but it all just fits in right here and then down there a little bit. And then I've got a cargo bay and an engineering bay that I'm actually going to move to be more in the correct spaces of in the interior and not actually connect to the ship. They'll be connected via an elevator that I don't have set up yet, a teleporting elevator. And so they'll like be in the parts that kind of make more sense, and so there'll be like a cargo bay which will be down here, and then the hangar which will be right all up in here, kind of. At least that's the area that it's supposed to be in. So again, about to look at the interior, just keep in mind that it's literally all just inside here in this little bridge section of the ship. So without further ado, let's see, interior. I want to say it's this one. This is the template I'm using. This isn't like the final one, just so Al doesn't lose his shit if he's still watching this. But I just want to get the layout all figured out before I start taking it apart, putting it all back together, which seems convoluted, but that's just how I process it all. That's like my method of building it all together. And boy, is this taking a hot minute to load. hoping it's not frozen so I have to relaunch it. Nope, there it goes. Okay. So ignoring it looks kind of disjointed and disconnected right now. This whole thing right here is supposed to be up here. Let me see if I can actually fix that real quick. Why did that not get fixed? Oh, it's like... Oh, that's super weird. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. It's behaving very strangely. Yep, see what I mean? I hit Control Z and it doesn't actually fix anything. Which means I'm gonna have to reload, but whatever. Ignoring that right now, I'm not gonna save what I just did there, but this is the bridge layout that I have so far, which is based on the UC Vigilance's bridge with some edits. You know, like all this section has been changed out. I've gotten rid of the robot placements, obviously, because the UNSC does not have robots like that in that capacity. I've added a captain's quarters here that I've expanded upon with a bathroom and a little door. A little meeting area right here. You've got a server room, a security room. Let's see here. I think that's it for the bridge section, yeah. And then the actual windows for the bridge. Over here we've got this level, which has the docking ports, which correspond with the actual docking ports on the ship, which I know are in a super weird position, believe me. But we've got a medical bay here, which if any of you have played the vanilla game, you'll be able to tell. The hologram tables are hard to mod. I mean, for the holograms, like, they won't be able to, like, do any sort of animations or, like, change a whole lot, I don't think. I mean, you might be able to. But to make a hologram, it'd be super easy. You just import, like, a mesh, like the ship, make it really small, and then change the material on that mesh to be a, you know, a light or a like an existing holographic material, and that'll make it look like a hologram. Michael already does that with one or two of his mods. I think the Mass Effect, the Normandy has that, and yeah, no, to make them spin at least or do something like that. Yeah, I think that'd be easy to do. But let me find my footing again. That's what happens when my damn ship gets torn apart. This medical bay is actually from, I can't remember what other space station, but I've taken that out and kind of jammed it in here with another security room right here, and then we've got the crew quarters right here. Again, these are just pretty much the same from the UC Vigilance's crew quarters. Haven't really done a whole lot of edits right here. And then the mess hall, which I have done some edits to. There's like some stairs in here now. There's 2 ward rooms for, like, you know, like officers or people to have like the private little luncheons and all that. Pantry is still pretty much the same. Galley's still pretty much the same. I've added a lot of animations in here which are different for like lively crew and all that to use these spaces and to perform actions and duties here that make it feel more alive if you have like a big crew. And then let's see, up here, that's the second level. Crew quarters, and then below this, down here, we've got the brig. The big old prison section, essentially. The brig. And then I've modified the interrogation room stuff a little bit so that now, in order to access you know, the main area, you gotta get through this little room right here with them on that side. So it's like a security sort of area. And then big flight of stairs. Let's see. This is supposed to be an armory right here, but there was an issue with the weapon placements, and it didn't like having copies of the same weapon placement over and over again, so I have to figure out what was causing that issue and try and replace it. This is the crew quarters right here. I need to remove these, like this shit in the way. I think that's it for that area right now. And then over here I'm working on a cargo bay. So again, this area, which is basically the same as the Vigilance, except that right about here I've torn out this wall and I'm adding in these little sections right here. And this is from I can't remember what cargo freighter from, like, it's like a derelict ship. It's not the one with all the credits, it's another one. But there's that, and then of course you've got the engineering room over here. So you this stuff. And then the grav drive and all that over here. And whatever the hell room this is, I can't remember. Oh, it's frozen. There we go. Those 3 sections right there. And then this, which is just stairs leading to hallways, which I'll probably get rid of. Yeah, well, the mess hall is not this way, so. Hydraulics, even though that's not hydraulics. I don't even know what this is, just like a small little storage area, I think. Let's see, engineering and fluid storage. Yeah, so I'm assuming this is like fluid storage for like water, maybe? I don't know. Or fuel? It's kind of hard to tell. Some sort of something here. Anywho, that's all for this for right now. Slowly chipping away at this. It's getting there. Working on this area right now for this interior section, and then I'll get that all set up where I want it. And like I said, like, it looks big, but I think I have, for reference, you can see. Oh, I didn't notice that. That's not great. Not the end of the world, but that's not super. I don't know if that's gonna show up or not. Oh well. And then all this stuff obviously will be moved in and tucked into the correct places, like this. All these sections are gonna go back over down here somewhere, like right there, probably, in like a cross section of the ship, or like maybe down here. I don't know. And then the cargo bay with the doors and all that is gonna go down here. Don't know what I'm gonna do about right here. I might end up closing these off and then re-exporting the mesh. But that's it for now. So it's coming together, and then I'll do some other ships. I've got a lot of templates that I'm working on, so it'll be easier to construct all this stuff. Like, some of these are pack-ins for certain things. Like, that's all one cargo bay pack-in now. Same with this, you know, loading bay, you know, a bridge template. These rooms are all still separated out, but I'll compile it and move some things around and try to make it all nice and clean, and it'll just be one big engineering bay. You know, same with some of these. Some of them, well, they were pack-ins, but now they're all like separated out. But anywho, That's my time for YouTube tonight, guys. I'm moving over to Twitch for some gaming content here in about 15-ish minutes, 15-20 minutes. So if you're interested in that, go check me out there. I also have another new YouTube channel that I'm going to start uploading the Twitch VODs to, Vorador's Raven Gaming. I have one video up there already. I've got more that I'm going to be uploading there soon, and then trying to get that all going, so if you missed the Twitch VODs and all that, you can go and watch that content. If you're interested in this project at all, check out the Discord for Age of Reclamation. Again, it's a total conversion project for Starfield. You know, if you want to support me, I've got Patreon, which is the main way that will really help me out, or you can go subscribe over on the Twitch, which will really help me out, or just give me a follow, subscribe here on YouTube, hit the bell icon so you don't miss any uploads when I go live. All of these streams, of course, are available to watch after the stream ends over on my live section on my videos. I have an actual video that is a basic rundown of what the Age of Reclamation is and what all the project will entail, as well as showing off the current only available mod that I have, which is the Pillar of Autumn beta version. And then that's on Nexus. Once I get that cleaned up and everything working all right, I may move that over to what is it, Bethesda's mod thing, if I can. Let me think, I'm trying to think here. Can't think of anything else. Working on a test version of the ship replacer mods right now, where I've got a bunch of Covenant stuff. Actually, let me show that off real quick. Make sure I don't save anything. I think it'll be under Space Cell. Yeah, this one. I'm working on a new CSO model. So the current one that I have is not the long-term one, so don't worry about how janky that's about to look. But ooh, the lighting. There we go. Got a lot of these Covenant ships in here, and most of this actually loads in fairly decently. Only a couple things, like the CSOs, don't want to load in right now for some reason, I think. We got some light carriers, some frigates, the cruisers, the assault carriers. We have some super cruisers or heavy cruisers, I can't remember. I think that's the heavy cruiser. And then we got some heavy destroyers. This is the super cruiser, which is, I actually think this is supposed to be like a battleship. It's based off of a battleship concept from like a comic. And then we've got some corvettes, of course. All this stuff, the scale might seem off right now. And the colors look, again, really weird in the creation kit, but it looks really, really good in game. And of course the big the CSO rather, which is just a giant CAS model right now. But when I get my rework at a decent state, I'll pop that in as a rough concept and texture it up real nice, and we'll see how that looks. So Go check out all my socials, guys. I'm trying to post on Twitter more regularly, or X, whatever you want to call that too. So it's Vorder's Raven there as well. So if you want to go check that out and follow me over on there. Again, lots of ways you can help me out. Share this to your friends. I post on Reddit with an amount of regularity. And yeah, I'll see you guys next Wednesday. And for all the people coming over to Twitch, I stream on Twitch Wednesdays and Sundays most days, if I can. If I can't, then the best way to find out whether or not I have to cancel or anything is usually over on the Discord. So, link should be in my description or in my channel bio, so go check all that stuff out, and I'll see you guys later.